something personal.
No, that was pretty personal.
What's
I
up,
got time.
people?
I got to turn off my audio on YouTube. Hold on.
Okay. We go through the list here. I'll scroll back up. I see Em and Joel, but let me go back up here at the top. What's up, Bat? There's Simon again, spamming the channel. What's up, Em? Demoose, what's up? What's up? There's Salvador. Uncle Smiley. Whistle stop. How are you?
What's up, Ed?
Uncle Smiley, Chef TV. How are you?
Take my tablet inside here, please. The plate.
I hear dog.
Hold on, let me take a picture.
Is that Taco back there, Simon?
No,
Arky?
he's right here. He's playing with a cat. I'm trying to take a picture, but they won't stay still.
So you're gonna go live from there? You're an hour behind, right? So you got a couple more hours of daylight left, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I have my light here, so.
Yeah, I did. I came in late, CV. I've been dealing with some shit with my wife today, and I just tuned in late. I said, "Oh man, I haven't even forgot about the live. Just too much going on." And I posted, and I saw the alert, the notification from Simon, and I was like, "Shit." I wanted to catch that cook, but I caught the tail end of it, very tail end of it.
Good thing about it, it's only about an hour long, so it's not too long of a watch.
Yeah.
You gotta. Well, you can't just say that. You gotta mention. Give us some. Give us the details, Simon.
Somebody burned their,
I'm looped out.
somebody burned their chicken.
Is that right?
Nah.
Minty Cactus. That's a new one. I love the name.
Hello, Minty Cactus.
I enjoy that name.
So now we're not getting. I'm completely out of the loop. What did you do, Simon? Fill us in.
It was a chicken parmesan and spaghetti on the Blackstone.
Oh, nice.
I took a picture before I ate my plate. Hold on. I gotta share it to StreamYard. Maybe.
I don't have anything on this one yet.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta upload it first.
There was no chicken burnt during this live stream. Oh, and everybody be happy to know this is probably the last Sunday night you'll hear this chair.
Uh-oh.
I got made a purchase, so I'm gonna take care of my chair. There it is. Post it. That looks sweet,
Oh,
man.
that looks nice, man.
Yeah, you did a sweet
you, man.
plating job.
That's
like
that's restaurant quality right there.
Yeah, that's right when I came in on the live on the cook.
Oh,
It was right about this time when he was showing the plate. I was like, wow, that looks sweet.
What kind of? Oh, you have it on the Blackstone? Was
yeah, it's on the Blackstone, and I put the plate on the Blackstone so I can melt the cheese. I covered it with the dome, and it melts a little bit.
Yeah, it looks good. I love fresh
Nice.
mozzarella.
Yeah, that's good.
Chunky sauce, man. That's right up my alley.
You got
Yeah,
that crust.
It
That
ain't
crust is
chunky,
good
it ain't
too.
good.
I make the sauce also from scratch, so.
Oh, nice.
All right. Yeah, I love a chunky sauce. What's up, Christopher?
Well, what do you put in your sauce, Simon? Do you just go with the canned tomatoes and the basil and
Yeah,
garlic?
so it was crushed tomatoes. It was one onion that I sauteed.
Yeah.
Then I put in I bought garlic paste in a little tube.
Oh yeah, that's key.
I
Yeah.
give it a good squeeze of that, and then I added the tomatoes, and then all the herbs, Italian seasonings, red pepper flakes, salt, pepper. Man, what else? Oh, and then I use fresh parsley and fresh basil.
Very cool.
Hey, Mama O.
But to get it all going, man, I had to get the Blackstone cooking out like an hour and a half before we started the live. So
Yeah.
get the water boiling, get the oil hot.
Yeah. That's
These
good though.
these little buttheads.
The crust too. What did you do for that crust? Looks
Uh,
nice.
egg wash, flour, and then breadcrumbs and panko.
Okay. Nice.
And I fried it in pork fat, manteca.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
I'm gonna get a
nice.
flat. It got stuck in
That's
my
good.
my wheel, so I'll probably have a flat in a little while.
That's good.
Uh,
Did you want to take it inside before it happens?
oh, it's all gone.
No, you're yourself with the flat tire.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm I'm at home, so I can crawl to the house if I need to.
You got enough of that sauce for leftovers, Simon?
Not enough, but I told my nephew I can always add some butter and more cheese and doctor it up, kind of stir it
Yeah.
up with the noodles.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah.
And was the cilantro just for Chris?
No, that was basil and parsley.
You ruined it.
Yeah, no.
Should have been like that was you replaced the basil with for the cilantro.
Yeah, I had to make it Mexican. Just
Yeah.
remember taco?
No, but that's good that you use the fresh herbs, like I usually don't know, maybe that's a question for you guys in the chat is what do you do with leftover herbs? Because sometimes parsley, I love using fresh parsley, but sometimes it just ends up just going bad. I need to find out other ways to do it, either dry it up so that I could just
Yeah.
have it.
I don't use it very often, but when I do, I buy the little bunch of it,
Uh-huh.
and like today, I cut it up pretty coarse, and then put it
Yeah.
on the in the sauce and on the chicken.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
'cause
but also with the parsley or cilantro or something, you can make it into part of a sauce like a chimichurri.
yeah.
If you're gonna make a chimichurri, I mean, I think you're gonna use a whole bunch, so or even more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my
That's good.
chat to work, so give me a moment,
Yeah,
guys.
because I just wish I just had the little herb garden so I could just grab what I
No.
needed for that.
That is not a hard thing to get started.
Yeah. Can you hold up for 1 second before
Yeah.
CB goes? No visual. Not CB. Des, how are you doing, honey? Simon said you weren't doing real good last weekend, and I was just taking the
Got it?
opportunity to check in on you.
All right, thank you. Can you give me some more water? Oh, and plug in the power supply. Like a cat or the dog took it out.
Oh, maybe she already answered it. See if feel better.
It's not right here in the plug right there. But he said, oh,
It's on.
yeah,
No,
but
you just
my plug's gone. Where's the plug?
plug's gone. Yeah.
Hold on, guys.
I wish I could copy and paste. Well, that's good. I was going to copy and paste it and fix it for you. Replace old with young. But because it's my stream, I can't copy and paste shit.
You can if you go to YouTube.
Yeah. That was supposed to say cough.
Taco, behave.
But Emily, M didn't spread the news.
What?
But an update for Des, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, you told me,
Oh.
but I
Well,
don't
you
talk.
told me she was down again, but
Yeah,
I didn't know she was feeling a little bit better. What's up,
Yeah.
Mike?
I was here and fell asleep. Oh,
There and fell asleep. What's up, the Moose? All right, great. That was the first run too. So you got the first one.
Yeah, there'll probably be another one here coming up.
I had to actually after I ran that. I think the next day, I think I told you I was having some issues. It took 45 minutes for them to do a what you call the thing where they can see you and take you of your computer and you do stuff too. About a 45-minute update on my embroidery machine. I haven't touched it since. I mean, you pretty much know why, but I haven't touched it to go in there and mess with anything yet. This ain't been spending a whole lot of time on it, doing a whole lot of anything. And so I was saying that I had told you guys because Des told me to tell you how she was. Okay, hon. I saw her in there and I didn't get a recent update to it. The last I heard was last Sunday and she was pretty much down and out again.
What was wrong with her?
I'm not 100% sure. You hear things.
But then again, we shouldn't be discussing other people's,
right. I was just if she wants to share that, she can share it. But I've been hearing stuff, but I don't want to share that. But.
Yeah, probably should. There are laws there, Lance. You don't want to. Yeah. So, thinking of talking about health, do you have anything to kind of talk to us about there, Lance?
No.
Yeah, it's sort of hard.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I spent the day in the ER yesterday. Been having issues. It's like I've turned into half the man I used to be just 3 weeks ago. Couldn't figure it out. Finally got to the point where I had to go to the ended up in the emergency room yesterday for about 7 hours. And they did all these EKGs and all this other stuff, and I've had a heart stress test 3 years ago, and I knew it had something to do with my heart. But I wasn't sure what it was, and I got it 85-90% clear 3 years ago. So I mean, I have never tried to hide it. I'm a junk food junkie. I mean, I quit smoking 5 years ago, and I substituted it with potato chips and pretzels and whatever I can shove in my mouth at night. But well, let me rephrase that. Not whatever I can shove in my mouth. I'm waiting for someone to leave a comment.
You gotta be very clear.
You're gonna get something sent to your house, sir.
So I went to the ER. The wife, I got up. The pain in my chest wouldn't go away this time. So I got up, take a shower, thinking that maybe I could, work it off. It would go away because it has been going away, and it just wouldn't go away. And I tried to get an appointment Friday to start the EKG. And get things going, and blows my mind. I guess it's a Maryland thing. Oh no, Taco's got a mate now, a playmate.
Yeah, he lives out here. He's been out here for months.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So
they're super friendly. You go let me pick him up. So
they all, if you call them up, a cardiologist, you're a new patient, and you're 8 weeks before you can get an appointment. I'm like, well, damn, I'll be dead in 8 weeks' time. That's ridiculous. So I said, well, let me call back the cardiologist that gave me my stress test 3 years ago. And because it was 3 years, they're also calling me a new patient now. So it was a catch-22. Couldn't schedule any type of EKG, and I had pretty much decided, well, the only way I'm gonna be able to do it is go into the ER. But I thought I'd be able to ride it through this weekend, and it didn't. I just it's one of those things, being hard-headed. You see something, and as long as you sit down, you chill, you can make it go away. All this will fix itself. But it didn't fix itself. So I went in there, and actually the blood count and everything really looked good, but there's suspicions of a blocked artery. So I've got to go schedule tomorrow for another stress test, and I don't know. They're probably thinking a minimum of stent, and we'll see from there. I really don't know anything else, but sort of a shocker, bummer, awakening call. You think you're the baddest SOB, even at 67 years old. And just up to a couple weeks ago, I mean, I was working side by side with the Amish guys. You just push, and there just wasn't no push left. So we'll see next week what they have to say and everything. It's just sort of kind of a bummer, just don't. My youngest daughter, she called me up, and I got a grandbaby. That was Christmas Eve 2025, and my son-in-law, he's a paid paramedic, and he's like, I hope you fall, I hope you collapse, because that's the only way you're going to take care of it. And my daughter was there. Then when we left the ER, we went and saw my other granddaughter, where she works at. And it's hard, Sorry, but it's feelings. Probably making a whole lot out of nothing, but you can't. It's not something you can just sweep under the rug and act like it didn't happen, or it's not, okay. But so I got to hug my oldest grandchild yesterday, and I am Tom. I went into his, and Grumpus is live last night. Man, I had no idea what Grumpus went through a year ago. I knew he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
But that man was taken to the emergency room. They opened him up and put a pacemaker in him just to keep him alive for another day. Then the next day, they opened him up and did a quadruple bypass on him, and then closed him back up. So I was like, man. So I joined the old folks group last night between Grumpus and Tom. They could good for some laughs, and they're both full of knowledge. They've been there, done that type thing. And thank you, Moose. And is that right, Mike? Congratulations. That's one good thing about getting old. You got grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Yep.
And Mike, MSC, he's probably, I'm glad I'm not in his boat. I don't mind sharing what he has shared publicly, but he's dealing with fluid around his heart. So he's not in the best of health. I think it's just old school era, it's like, shit and get. You got a job to do, get it done.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, wait for the handout, or whatever. It's, you got a job. It all catches up to you, I guess, eventually. But thank you, Simple Happy Life. Hello,
Hey.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Lance. Just it's
I knew it
You
was going
had
to come out. I would called Simon. Actually, Roxanne from the fish community. She sent me a text uh, right when I was. They were doing. They were checking for. I can never remember the name of the enzyme. They were checking for the enzyme because the report did show that I had my heart was kicking enzymes out to my blood. It's my understanding that's the way it happens. What goes on? What's up, Timmy? So, and that was when I got my first report back when Roxanne had let me know she got her towels also. So, um, and then I text Simon just to break it up a little bit, just to take a curve, take a little bit off the seriousness of it. You get in there, and you try to make jokes and stuff just to make it easier. And that's just me. I'm flirting with the nurse and whatever else I have to do, but it'll all be good. So I'm not real sure, Emily. It's something that. What's up, Russ? Thank you, Russ. So it's something that apparently um, your heart struggles. Your way my son-in-law basically described it as your heart's just a big muscle, and when your arteries are partially blocked, whatever's going on right now, um, the heart is stressing out right now, and when it stresses out, I guess it emits an enzyme, and the enzymes, uh, is just something you don't really want. Um,
Hey, Randy.
my son-in-law and I were in last night because he told me he was ticked off because when I was released out of the ER room, I didn't even make it halfway to the car. I had leaned against the bill to catch my breath. Now all this is just like boom. This is all of a sudden just happened, and so I tried to. When I got out of the ER room, of course, the first thing you want is get the hell home. I've been laying in that bed for 7 hours. But so made it about halfway to the car, and my wife looks back, and it's like, you all right? And I said, I just need to catch my breath for a minute. And I went the rest of the way to the car because if you stop, it just chill. It goes away almost as fast as it came. But so my son-in-law was like, they never should have let your ass out of the ER. That's what he said. I wish you had collapsed. Then you would have had it taken care of. But so there's this enzyme number. It's called Torterone or something like that. I think it's pronounced Torterone. Well, so our insurance gives me every time they requested a test or something. They being the doctor at the hospital, my insurance company notifies me of just so that I'm aware of the test. There's no extra test being added to the bill, yada yada yada, and then I'll get a result from the test later on via text. And so all this was going on, and towards the end, before they released me, they wouldn't release me at first because my Torterone number was 16, and they wanted to make sure that it was going to drop down lower. So they waited, a couple hours and drew more blood and tested for that again, and it dropped from 16 to 15. And the doctor said that that was good enough for her. That anything below 20 is acceptable. Well, if you look at the chart that they sent me on the email, the text, it said anything lower than 22 is acceptable. And my son-in-law, he's been doing this stuff for 30 some years. He's like, "What's up, Steven?" He's like, "No, that's not true." He says, "You need to be a 0. Ain't no 15s, no 16s. You need to be a 0. So, I got to go to the cardiologist on Monday. Well, I got to make an appointment for a consultation. And what's up, Bushcraft? Stephen P. How you doing, buddy? And go from there. See what they want to do next. So I'm hoping that it's just a stent. Well, I understand they can do. You're pretty much a weight when they put stents in. I mean, I don't know. I'm just repeating what I've heard. So maybe a stent. If not, then if it's like a major blockage, that's what the stress test does. So I'll do the stress test and let them decide what has to be done next, whether it's open heart, or whether it's just a stent implant. We will see. I'm trying to keep my head up and hopes up. I spent the day with my wife today and just shut out everything, and just spend some time with her because she's my wife of 45 years and she's been dealing with it too. So what I'm going through, she's going through,
Yeah.
So we took her to a greenhouse today, and for her day, I came back with more plants than she did.
No, you don't say.
They had a new shipment of succulent plants in, and some of them I've never even seen. So that was cool. Thank you, Simple Life. I feel like a ninny, but it's just I feel like I'm taking Chris's place. Damn it. But it's just it's sort of kind of overwhelming, where you just you feel like you're strong as a mule one day, and then 3 weeks later, damn, I can't, because I don't want to ride when I cut my grass. I've got 2 John Deere ride mowers that I've restored over the years. Perfect condition. They'll cut grass perfectly. But I take the old junky push mower out because I want the exercise. I mean, I've done that for decades. I've always pushed my grass. I don't. Thank you, Barbecue Mike. And that scares me, Chris. But and when I did that, I couldn't even get 2 rows, 2 passes and 2 rows, and I was like, man, what the hell is going on? I had to stop, and then of course, I'll just push through this, and I'd start pushing some more, and I'd have to stop. Damn, I got all this money coming in here. What's up, the Moose? We do have insurance, hospitalization, so. Actually, I joked last night. It was the first time when I came out of the ER room, I got to use my Medicare card. I was like, no way.
Book it in, huh?
I had to break it in. I said, this is
Did you get out of the wrapper?
The Moose, thank you very much.
You took the little perforations off of it, off of the original letter.
Yeah, and I forgot I didn't call in first to activate it. So, but then, Demoose, thank you, buddy. I think it was Timmy.
Yeah,
Timmy, thank you, man.
And Ophelia sent us $3 sticker.
Yeah, she did. I saw that too.
I think the key, Lance, is that you're doing what needs to be done. You don't put that kind of guilt on yourself for not taking care of it earlier. You're doing it now. Just see what they say and just go from there. Just be thankful that you're okay now. You're telling that story. And it's all a matter of just keeping the wheel spinning, making sure that you're good and doing what's required. Because.
Yeah.
What you said earlier just kind of stuck with me because last year just kind of realized just that life is way too short, and no matter what age you are, you have to take care of yourself, because
Yeah,
you just don't know. And
yeah,
I know you're old school and thinking you got to take care of everything, but I think we had this conversation before where you have to take care of yourself before you could take care of others, and that to me just kind of, I see it with my parents. I see it with people that in my family that's passed recently. I've seen it where you have to take that step, you know,
yeah,
and more importantly, just overall, you have to be you have to be grateful, thankful, just of every day, of just the simplest of things. So I always try now, if the sun is shining bright, I thank God. Or people who don't believe in God, you have to appreciate those moments, just waking up in the morning and just with your family and spending these little moments with your family. Those are the things that really make life worth it, you know.
yeah.
And
When I was talking to Tom and Grumpus last night, and I told him the same thing about, getting a little bit of grief from my daughter and my son-in-law, and I know she had the baby in her arms, and then going to see my oldest granddaughter. She was at work at her job. My diet's changed obviously, and I've never eaten. Well, that's not true. I've probably eaten 4 times at a Chick-fil-A in my life, and they had this grilled chicken nuggets. So that's the easiest quick food we can find after you've been in the hospital all day. You just don't nothing to cook. But, so went in there where she worked at just so I get a hug from her and everything. So Tom was like, that should be all the reason in the world. And it's like I don't mean to give the opinion or the misconception that I don't want to take care of it. I'm 100% will say I should have taken care. Look at this, took it more serious 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Uh, but honestly, I couldn't fathom, you know, what the hell,
Mhm.
It wasn't but 3 years ago that I got an 85, a 64-year-old man got an 85, 90% clearance. And the
Mhm.
lady running the stress test was like, you must stay active. And she's steadily cranking it on up. About killed me, but she's
Mhm.
steadily cranking the numbers on up on me. So it's like, then all of a sudden, just like, damn, I had to, I had to laugh when they admitted me back into the room yesterday. My wife was sitting in a chair beside the bed where I was at, and I had to go to the bathroom before they started hooking me up with all the EKGs and all that, all the sticker things. And I went in the bathroom. I heard the nurse ask my wife, uh, "Does he have a walker or a wheelchair?"
She's like, not yet.
Yeah.
I came out that bathroom. I said, "Damn!" I said, "Babe," I said, "Remind me to start dyeing my hair again." She started laughing. I said, "What?" She said, "I heard her just ask for if I require or if I use a wheelchair or
Walker.
a walker." Made the nurse feel like shit. And that's the kind of jokes I was trying to put
Yeah.
humor in it, trying just to lighten it up,
Yeah.
Um, and then but she's, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "No, I'm just kidding you, honey." I said, I overheard it and I just thought, well, damn, I must really be older than I think I am. But
Yeah. That's why it's and I think I really think, I hate to sound sexist, but I really do think it's a male thing. Like we do go on our lives and just not like something hurts, we just don't complain about it because we just
yeah,
got to get through the day. And
it is.
and I think a lot of it too is like we're not expected to like complain. I hate to be getting slightly political here, but it is a thing with us males that we just kind of suck it up and keep going, and when we do complain, kind of just like, oh, kind of man up, you know, like get over it, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have to kind of see whatever is best for us, you know, to get checked out, you know.
Yeah.
It goes across ages too. Like you have to, if something hurts, you got to get it checked out, you know, because you just don't know. With
Well, to start
there's
that day off when all this happened, I had a pitchfork and I completely weeded and turned my garden over for this year's vegetable bed. And I turned that over, and that was like I was like, you know, I was like really feeling it. I was like, damn, man, I must really be out of shape. First thing come to my mind, you know. So then I put down bone meal on, you know, the whole surface, and then I turned it all over again with a pitchfork, you know, just breaking the ground up and everything. And then from there, and also that was the same weekend I get bit. I think I must have hit a nest of ticks. I got bit by 15 ticks, all within 2 days' time.
Wow.
damn.
So, but I didn't. I caught them immediately, type thing. And so from what I read up, because I did do some research, and tick bites can cause respiratory problems and pains in your chest. I'm like, damn, this is what it's not a heart issue after all, you know. But unfortunately, that didn't come true. But they say that if you get bit by a tick, that they say 32 hours. I don't want to tell you all 32 hours. You know, check your asses within 24 hours
Mhm.
because it takes that long before the enzyme from the tick will hit your blood to get
Yeah.
inside you and hit your blood. So as long as you do that, yeah, that's right. I was just fighting
And,
bears
and,
last year.
and I will say the way the medical system works in this country is the biggest obstacle that you're gonna run across anybody is insurance um, saying, yeah, let's test them for that, or yeah, let's check them for that. That is going to be the biggest obstacle that any of us are going to face. So if there is a reason, you know, to get a test done or a checkup done, you know, something as simple as a tick bite, then you have to take advantage of that, you know, because you know, under normal circumstances you won't be able to get that checkup, you know, because it's
Yeah,
like, well, you know, that guy doesn't need this test because he, you know, it doesn't seem, it just seems like a waste of money, you know.
yeah,
But you just have to take those things, a shortness of breath, that's like that's enough to tell your primary doctor to like, hey, got shortness of breath, like what could it be, what test can I get done, you know. I got bitten by a tick, what, you know, like there's so many
thank you, Mama.
illnesses that you could get from ticks, you know, like can I get checked out, like what could I do, you know. It seems weird to complain about it, but that's just the way that you just have to do it, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lance fought a bear a couple of years ago.
and I lost. I had a big old black eye. But that's the story. I'm glad I got it behind me now.
Mhm.
Rack, I got two projects to show you. One of them, I think you'll think that's rather cool. What's up, Digits? Got bit by a rattlesnake once. The snake died 3 days later. Chris, did y'all go jeeping this weekend?
No, he went ducking.
Ducking. There's there's signs in the tick world that has advanced face right. I couldn't believe it. Tom, what's going, buddy? I ain't seen you in a long time.
Oh wow.
Nothing. Let's stick with the frog. Yeah, that was a fluke, man. I mean, how? I didn't even know there was a such thing as a freaking tick nest. I had them from the size. I've had them from the size of the head of a straight pin, up to almost as big as a pencil eraser on a standard pencil. 15 of them jokers. I was like, good gosh.
Yeah, well, I think that's the problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you do,
Okay.
NBA. Love you back, bro.
We don't have to worry too much about ticks out here in Inglewood, but the one thing we have to worry about now in California is typhus. Apparently, there's an ongoing growth of typhus in the LA County that now we have to, not get bit by fleas. So
Is that right?
Yeah.
Supposedly chiggers too. I think it's chiggers and fleas.
But
I didn't know it was an outbreak thing.
If you start roaming around LA, you will clearly see its fleas because of all the trash that's out in the streets. That means rats, right? And rats, we know that rats are,
Yeah.
Once it gets into the fleas and the rats and stuff like that, it's a problem. So that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I don't know. What would get rid of a wasp short of spraying it, but I don't know if flowers would help it or not. It may draw them out to that. I don't know.
I would blow up my mailbox.
Yeah, I saw a joke about that. Oh no, never mind. It wasn't wasps, it was snakes. Well, that's crazy. So y'all have a like New York didn't want the plane to know.
You could have not put that comment up there.
But this is how he has fun. So how he gets his kicks.
It's like the Western Maryland. What they do, they had an overpopulation of wild turkeys. So what does the county do? They release rattlesnakes to cut down on a number of wild turkeys. Now they have an overabundance of rattlesnakes, and they can't figure out how to get rid of them. True story.
That's how it's happened. Like they're trying to get rid of one animal, they introduce another animal, and then it just overpopulates everything.
The mulch is probably to beautify it a little bit. Plus, it helps keep the ground moist under the mulch, so she doesn't have to water the flowers as much. Would be the reason why I would put mulch down. New York is crazy. I hear they got bad problem in New York. 89 octane on wasps. After catch. Oh, really? So it's the mulch they're after. Okay. I highlighted them before I read it.
It's okay. It just means I won't be president. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Or mayor, I guess. If I ever want to run for mayor, I guess I'll just look up this live and.
Where did I drop off at? It skipped on me. I use mulch to get it out of bodies. I say hello to you, Brother Stephen? I think so.
Oh.
Maybe not. You're saying an awful lot of hellos right now. Dryer sheets or peppermint oil. Huh. The other thing that I have heard, and this is from my little sister, she had long-haired shepherds. When she brushed her shepherds, she would keep their hair and put it in like a plastic bag. She actually put it in old toilet paper rolls, stuffed those rolls in there, and she would place them around in her flower beds, and that'll keep like the wildlife. And I think maybe that's why she does the bees too, because she don't have a problem with bees. But I know she was doing it to supposedly kept deer out of her plants. Mine shafts. We'll bring it to predator. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, so now they got me right now. Between Monday, I'm on 365 milligrams of aspirin.
Yeah.
That's to thin my blood out.
Yeah, that's the baby aspirin, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's bare aspirin.
You gotta be careful now, Lance, because your blood is thin. So don't start cutting stuff up with your knife and all that stuff, or shaving. I don't know what kind of. Well, you don't shave at all, but you gotta be careful not to use a razor. You gotta use the machine and all that stuff.
Yeah. I hope YouTube is listening, because one of the first things I started thinking about, that if you talk about the dog hair, she used it was pretty good size wads of that dog hair. But one of the first things I thought was, what am I going to do with the channel? Because I'm going to have to cut back on some of the type of stuff that I eat. So then I thought about, I really enjoyed, man, you have no idea. I guess it was just because it was something new that was implemented into the Weber. But cooking with the wok on a Weber, man, it's been a blast.
Yeah.
I mean,
are you saying with your channel, like what you can cook on it? Is that
yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This is, if you wanna look at it that way, this might be an opportunity, right? There's plenty people on kind of in your position, where you could say, how do you eat healthy? And I've told you this, Lance, that's the great thing about grilling, is that it is healthy, right? Because you're not cooking with any oil, you're not deep frying stuff. It's just a matter of introducing, vegetables in there and just grilling them up. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I love vegetables as is, but when they're grilled, they're just so much better. There's just, I don't need any oil. I don't need to throw a ton of butter on it. Like I feel like just grilling, asparagus, those dark green vegetables, those broccoli, asparagus, it's good. Like I there's just some certain flavor you get out of it. So it's. I don't want to give medical advice and say, hey, you gotta stick with just that's all you could eat is chicken breast, because I don't believe that. That's not what my grandparents was raised on. They would eat lard, they would eat fatty foods, and they lived up to 95, 100 years old.
Right.
But it all matter. It matters that you have natural ingredients. It's not nothing over processed stuff is the worst thing that you could do. That and sugar. So if you could keep a diet where it's just a nice steak, even pork is fine as long as it's not too fatty.
Yeah.
Chicken and just a bunch of vegetables, you should be good. But again, I'm not in any position to be giving medical advice.
No,
a nutritionist, talking to a nutritionist is a good first step.
Yeah. The thing that's it's confusing is when because I'm already doing research. They're saying that your liver is what stored all these bad fats, and now that it's releasing it, that's what's giving you the cholesterol issues. Could be what's giving you some of the cholesterol issues. But then you look like what you can eat, what you can't eat. My doctor, my GM doctor, told me to stop eating peanuts because they were terrible for me.
Yeah,
I
peanuts are
researched it
bad.
all. Well,
They're
no,
not.
I
They're not
read
a
it.
good.
I read it last night, and they said that the pistachios actually help lower your LDLs. Eat pistachios.
So there's. So the I know peanut, since it has the word nut in it, we think it's
Yeah,
fine. But peanut is actually the one of the worst nuts that you could eat.
yeah.
There are almonds are good, but they're but yeah, you start going into the nuts part. You start going in Google and researching and all this stuff. You'll quickly find out that peanuts are not
Yeah.
good.
Well, I
um,
think I think what a lot of people are saying, peanuts are not a nut. I think what a lot of people are
mhm.
saying is that
They're a
there
legume.
are nuts that you have to, uh, well, anything I get you consume, you should do it in moderation. But
Hmm.
they're saying that there are nuts that are not as good for you as
Hmm.
as other nuts. Um, it's a
Hmm.
bean, he's saying.
Yeah, it's and
So
then and it's especially like some people think that the roasted peanut with with sugar in it. It's like, oh, I'm eating nuts, it's healthy here, but it's like, no, that's don't do that. um, but yeah, it's all about research. It's all about talking and getting advice from the experts, and they would all advise you not to do that. If you
meal
want
prep.
to, I know I've heard a lot about lowering your cholesterol, and it's avocado, even though it's high in cholesterol, it's actually lowers your cholesterol. You know,
Yeah,
um,
the wife made me cook avocado dip because I've
mhm.
gone over to just sliced radishes,
Yeah,
broccoli, celery sticks, and I got one other thing over there. Oh, carrots, the little baby sweet
yeah.
carrots.
And
Uh,
just don't think of it as punishment, Lance. Think of it, like just take those carrots and just grill them. Just trust me on this. Just grill those carrots, and just add a little bit of pepper, a little garlic. That
yeah,
you're. It doesn't have to be like you're punishing yourself. They're like, oh, I'm eating celery, because that's the sure way that you're gonna stop. You're
yeah.
gonna just like you're gonna do it for a month, and you're like, oh no, I gotta run to my McDonald's and get me a fat burger, because
Oh,
it's
this
too
guy.
much. But I
Yeah.
feel like with enough protein in your diet and eating a lot of vegetables in there to keep you full, I think you're good. You're
Well,
not gonna crave
I'm glad
those foods.
I fried the chicken in pork fat.
Yeah.
and
Well,
and
one.
and there yeah, and then the whole lard thing, it's like you could go on that, you could go on a deep dive on Google and talk about that, that lard and the
That's what I was
manteca,
just about.
the manteca and the tallow and the butter and all that stuff. That's actually supposed to be good for you.
Yeah.
Ev- Everything we've learned about nutrition is actually like just completely wrong.
So I was just going
Where
to say that was part of what I started to say earlier is that
the food
Google and all
pyramid,
this stuff. There's
that
so
food
many
pyramid,
contradictions.
completely bullshit.
Yeah. There's so many contradictions. Like we touched base on it last night with Grumpus and Tom. It's like, saying stay away from sausage, stay away from red meat, don't eat pork, and
Mm,
the only thing you should eat would just be, chicken and turkey. Don't eat anything else, And it's
yeah.
like I was telling my wife today on the way to the greenhouse, I was told, I said, one thing that I don't want to do is make me feel like I'm in a corner because
Yeah.
I don't do well with being put in a corner because I'll take my last breath proving you wrong, that you're
Yep.
not, because if you push me
Yeah.
in a corner, I'm going to hate it. I'm not going to stick
Yeah.
to it. I'm going to just give it
That's
up.
that's that's what you got to do. You got to do some research, Lance. You got to don't give up on the, like, I know both of us love ribs and everything. Don't think, oh, I'm never going to eat one, a rib again. You just don't drench it in sauce. Don't put a ton of sugar on it.
Well, that's
Don't
one thing that I
don't
read. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
don't.
didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't double it up with like eating, 6 biscuits along with your ribs. Like you have to know, or macaroni and cheese. You can't just pair it up with something that's not good for you. You know,
Yeah.
salt,
So
pepper, garlic, ribs, Tom gave me a great suggestion about a good barbecue sauce. Sugar-free barbecue sauce. If you do feel the need to glaze your ribs with some of that, then use that. But
yeah,
try to
you just
avoid the sugar as much as possible.
you sort of kind of just stole my topic, but I was going to ask Tom why he's still in here. I had read something that, if you're a barbecue sauce lover, you're a barbecuer, and you're cooking, don't put the barbecue sauce on the food that you're cooking. If you
Mhm.
do anything, put a little spot of it on your plate, and
Mhm.
this, lightly dip whatever's on your fork into that sauce, just to put a little taste on it. That way, it's not smothered in barbecue sauce. You're still
Mhm.
getting your little taste of barbecue sauce, and then eat it that way.
Yeah.
Tom, your thoughts? Because that's what they're saying, is acceptable. And as far as frying, don't deep fry, just pan fry, but stay
Yeah.
away from vegetable oils, use tallows and stuff like
Hey,
that.
Lance, can I send Tom the link?
Oh, sure, certainly. I didn't
I,
know if you wanted to get on here. I'm sorry.
no, but I'm just thinking he wants to. And,
Yeah, he's a 40
No, to
years of
Tom.
knowledge.
Tom is he's an amazing. Like I put him up. He has a lot of knowledge. You just gotta pick his brain about stuff because he knows a lot. And he and
Beautiful.
he's in there in the front lines too. He's done this quite a while. His keto diet. You know.
That's actually what I was thinking about, Tom, but I didn't. And they didn't have it in that write up that I read. Is that I was wondering if vinegar based sauces were better for you.
yeah,
Um,
Tom
and
has
I
a
Yeah,
really
my
good sauce on his channel.
my
What's
speaking
that?
of vinegar, my
He's
my
got a really
my
good sauce on his channel, barbecue sauce.
mhm.
What
I
was
was
I
gonna say
wanting to
with
see?
the vinegar thing, like taking a shot of apple cider vinegar every morning is supposed to do some like great health benefits.
Yeah, I've heard that. There's actually a
It's
there's
hard. It's hard to do. It's not easy to just take a shot of apple cider vinegar every morning, but if your health requires it, then those are the things you got to do. You know.
I'm calling you out on that, Chris. Are you really using that oyster salsa? That stuff everybody gave me such a hard time about.
It sounds bad, Lance. Like it makes you think like they're just like raw oysters in there with
It was
salsa,
so
but
good. Now, if you want to grill up some veggies and put a little bit, because it's a vinegar base, it's a hot vinegar, and put a little bit of this on your grilled vegetables, I'm telling you, that would be an excellent dish. Excellent dish.
there is no like raw oysters in this salsa. It's just a salsa made
Yeah.
to put on oysters, right? That's the purpose.
Whatever you want. Like, it's made to sort of kind of substitute a cocktail sauce.
Yes.
It's their making of a vinegar-based cocktail sauce that's used for similar foods. I'm wondering if you did buy some of that stuff. Did I send him any? I sent you some or not. I sent Guggen some. I think Peter's doing it. Doing what? Watching his diet intake?
Yeah, and going back to that whole thing with your channel, Lance, I think it is an opportunity. Don't think of it as, oh, I'm pivoting into something. It could just be just a normal video, and you're just choosing to eat healthier. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to just mean like, oh, I'm not a real barbecue channel now because I'm eating healthy. Like that should not
Well,
be
yeah.
on your mind. That
I sort
just and you are like the most creative YouTuber that I follow. So you were the one who could come up with something to make it good and make it look, interesting on video. So
Thank you, Sal.
That should be your thing. You know.
I think I've I don't want to say really blown, but when I implemented fish tanks and plants, this is something that I truly want to do. I mean, and it's not because of the heart issues, because this is recent, but it's because it's something that I'm like, damn it, man, if I'm going to be putting effort in and money into something, I want it to be something that I enjoy doing it. I don't want it to be something that, again, be put in a corner. You can only do, oh, you're a barbecue channel. You only cook barbecue. I don't want to see nothing else. F you.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I want because it makes me happy, and I was worried about it killing the channel, but I really don't think it has. I mean, I think I've grown 50 subs in the past 3 months. So,
And I told you that, Lance, whatever, because I know you were down on the food content. I was like, well, at this point, if you're not gaining any subs and you're not gaining any more views, like just do whatever you want, just so that you keep posting videos. And it could be whatever at that point. It doesn't matter. I think I'm giving horrible advice, right? I'm saying just post whatever you want, but at the same time, if it means it's better than not posting because you're just tired of it,
Yeah, that's basically what Tom. What's up, Tom? That's basically what Tom and Gumpa said. Because one of the things that's now I was building while all this shit's gone. I'm still, ain't nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. Keep pushing. I've got 16 foot of retaining wall that I'm building down at my pond, and I've got a dirt berm 15 years ago, and some of my wall is starting to wash down, it looks like. So I'm building 2 8-foot sections of berm that I can backfill and keep that hill in place. But where was I going with that? I saw a comment. Oh, Tom and them said last night that I should, film all that. And I'm like, I don't want to keep filming everything. But he said, just put the camera out there and turn it on. And it's so true. I mean, stop worrying about what everybody else was like. And I just said I wasn't going to do that because of the tanks and the plants. But then, I sit there and think about the backfill. I mean, who's going to want to watch me, dig 2-foot deep holes to bury posts and, put pressure treated boards up, or, as a backdrop. But maybe there is. I don't know.
Put on your plastic butt cheeks when you're doing that.
Yeah.
You'll get the views coming in. What's going on, Tom?
Sal, how you doing, buddy? Simon, what's cooking, brother?
Good, man. You're a little low.
Your volume's a little low.
Low on the volume.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I just switched things around here.
Edit mic settings.
How about now? How about now?
It sounds like it's off.
Sounds like your mic is off. Yeah.
Let's see here.
I just turned you all the way up on my. I just dropped it back off.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
There we go.
There you go.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had to switch everything around here. I had to reset up the drums again, so
Yeah.
move out the other computer out to the kitchen and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Tom got his drums back last night or yesterday, whenever it was. But
unbelievable.
so does that mean you're gonna be joining the band again, Tom?
I don't know. I would like to, but I don't know. It's an option. Let's put it that way. So
Yeah.
getting to you digging a ditch and putting a camera out there, okay?
Yeah.
Why not?
No,
Okay?
it probably is a good spot for it, but I just didn't think it would be. Who would be interested in, listening to some old man groan out there? He's crawling around on his knees, and he's got these, these rocks he's moving out of the way so he can dig. And but maybe you're right. And custom every time he got a splinter. And
I watched the guy last night after we got off with Grumpus. I watched a guy last night build a complete cabin in 25 minutes.
No way.
Freaking amazing.
It's all right.
Yeah. So how you feeling, Lance? Okay.
I probably pushed it a little bit today, but I wanted a day out with my wife because as I tried to get out earlier, what's up? Was it Johnny, right? John, chef, backyard chef, chef's backyard chef,
Yeah,
John.
Chef John.
Yeah,
Chef John.
Chef John. And what's up, John? I wanted a day out with my wife because she's been, this is sort of kind of being a little dramatic for her too. What's going on, and
Well,
so
it's got to be done together, Lance. And you know what? Not to sound like peeing on your parade or anything like that. You got to get it done. That's the bottom.
Yeah,
Then you got to set a goal because it's not the end of the world. People have that test done every day, 365 days a year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you're changing things up. You sort of know what your problem is, okay? Or it could be something totally different
yeah,
that's causing all this stuff. You're stressed out. You're kind of like I am as far as crap. This happened. I got to fix this. I got to get that done. Why ain't getting fixed?
right.
That's bring it down a little bit of level. But I was listening to you guys trying to get this thing set up about talking about the food. Okay, we've been lied to all our lives from when we were kids on. Okay, because of one thing, money. It's all about money. You're a number with your insurance. That's all you are. All right, you go in. How many times have you gone in there and like you said, in the ER and you sat there or laid in the bed for how long?
Me yesterday?
Yeah, 7 hours.
7 hours, yeah.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's completely ridiculous. And if you had a major problem, okay, they'd be on you like a dirty shirt. You
Right.
understand? So it's all the stress level, the hype, and stuff like that. And there again, I don't give out medical advice. I'm not a doctor, but all I know is I had a shitload of problems. Excuse my French. And I had to grab the bull by the horn myself and run with it. So.
Yeah.
Chef John, what's up, man?
Yeah, we're gonna get on tomorrow. Tomorrow was the earliest I can make phone contact them. If they're not there on the weekends, and we'll go from there. I'm hoping it's not another brick wall, like I ran into Friday, where they were saying, oh, you're a new customer, but this doctor said to make sure they know it's from a referral from her, and the ER room at the Maryland Universal Medical Center, whatever they call it.
Yeah, take all that paperwork with you.
Yeah, I will. It's inside the house. I looked over
Yeah.
here, but I had it here last night because I was going to go over the numbers with Tom, see if anything made sense to him, but we didn't get that far with it. And my son-in-law pretty much read me the riot act before going on live anyway.
Well, you know what? That's generally what the procedure is. Okay, so like I said before, if there was a definite problem in the they would have from your leg up into your heart yesterday.
Yeah.
Doing that nuclear stress test. Yeah. So I would just take it one day. You get you hyped up, so all of a sudden you're going to start listening to what they're saying. That's what you should be doing because you got to put a pin in it. You got to find out exactly what it is, and if there is definitely a problem, like Grumpus would tell me all the time, I'm okay. I feel great. I feel great. I feel great. The day before he was going in to get his to get cracked open, he called me. He's Tom. I just want to just say hello, and this might be the last time I talk to you. That rocked my world. I said, "Wow, look at that." You know what I'm saying? So, but there again.
Yeah, I knew Tom, or not Tom. I knew Grumpus had the heart attack, but I had no idea what he had went through. That floored me. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Yeah.
To be taken in, and then to have them put a pacemaker in you, just to keep you alive one more day, so they can crack you open and take your heart out, do quadruple bypass, and put it back in and sew you up. I had no idea.
Yeah. Chris
No.
Neil Peart was one of the best there is. My favorite of all times is Buddy Rich. That's old school, but I mean Neil was right up there, if not better, but different times.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, like I said, if it was that dire that when you went in there not feeling good, and they got rid of you, I agree with your son-in-law. Okay, if there was a problem, they would have kept your butt there, and you would have been, they would have gotten you prepped. Okay, to go get the stress test done, and all that other stuff done yesterday.
Yeah, no, he didn't want. He said they shouldn't have released me.
Right.
He said they should have kept me right where I was at. They never should have released me. That number 15 is bullshit. I don't care what the scale says. It's supposed to be 0.
I mean, even with like blood pressure, I don't deal with the numbers. Okay, it's each individual. Okay, so it's a guideline. Okay, does your car run better on 89 octane or 96? Okay, which one does it work better with? And that would be a number that I would stick to. So your blood pressure, they want me. I'm going to be 72 in October. Okay, they want my blood pressure to be like my grandson's, who's 23. Okay, 118, 120 over 80, or whatever the number is. No, I'm that closer to the end than I am to the beginning. You know what I mean? So that number is just not going to work. So you got to really read into it and check out each thing, because then it counteracts. It has a counter reaction to everything. So I can remember. I can remember back in the restaurant when Mad Cow hit. All right, Mad Cow. Oh, everybody was, I can't eat beef. I'm afraid I'll get Mad Cow. It happened once or twice in here to maybe 3, maybe 7 cows throughout the country that it happened to. It didn't kill out any herds or anything like that. So it's the same stigma that you go through cholesterol. I keep asking my doctor, show me the research and show me the person who died from high cholesterol. Okay, high cholesterol don't kill nobody. It was something that they stayed on to get you onto these statins and stuff. So I don't know.
Well, I haven't made it a secret. I've been, this one here is almost 2 years old. I use it to weight down my notes over here. I refuse to take the statin drug. I won't take them. Maybe that would be the something that kicks me in my ass here next week, but I just refuse to take them. There's more negative stuff than there is good. And like the doctor was telling my wife, but it's been known to extend your life. Its study said that it will extend your life by 2 years. And she's like, yeah, of what quality of life?
It's like the thing, Lance. You know yourself. And you go to the doctor, say my shoulder hurts when I go like this, and what's the doctor going to tell? Well, don't do that. So that's basically what that is. It's all a money game. And there again, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I went through living hell from 2008 until now. Okay, and I said to the doctor, everything you gave me, everything we tried from you, okay, or from the medical industry, let's put it that way, didn't work. Okay, because they're telling me, you can eat a lot of butter, you can eat a lot of animal fat, it's going to kill you. Here I am.
Yeah. Timmy takes them.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 statins. Wow.
Wow. They may affect people differently, but and I did try and take them because I'm like, this is my doctor. This is the honest to God conversation that we had. And I had already had my opinion on statins, and he wanted me to take them. He says, look, you need to take these for, because I don't want to have to come to your hospital room and visit you sitting in a chair like this.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he did and said to me. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I just, had decided it's just something I didn't want to do. But, and when I did try, and before then, this is when I told him I wasn't taking them, where I took 4 pills.
Yeah.
4 pills, I was having spasms in my legs. And if we were having this conversation, if I was looking at somebody and having a face-to-face conversation, I'd be looking him dead in the face, not hearing a word he said. And then when he got finished talking, I was like, "What are we talking about?" I would just, I was just fogged. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I took 4 of them, and that all that happened. So I stopped it, and I've never had that symptom again.
So when you go,
I can only remember what we were just talking about.
when you initially go to the doctor, okay, what's the first thing they tell you? Okay, you need to go on a diet. You need to stop eating what you're eating. Okay, so what they're telling you is that food caused this. Food caused this problem that you got. But we're going to put you on medications. Okay, that's going to you're going to chase your tail from one. It's going to have a side effect. Now you're going to take a pill for the side effect, and then that side effect you got to take another pill for that, and this and that. Change your diet. Stop eating the junk that you're eating. Okay.
Yeah.
And go back to real whole foods. Don't have to be, if you're not a diabetic and stuff like that, you can have potatoes. You can have, but limit it. Bring it down many notches. Sal said earlier, there's nothing better tasting than fresh vegetables on a grill. I don't give a damn where you live, or what you do, or how you do it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like even I've convinced people even who hated vegetables. I'm like, let me grill you up some asparagus. You hate asparagus? Let me grill some asparagus. A little bit of pepper. It's like, oh wow, this is really good. Because they're used to just throw it in the water, boiling it, no seasoning on it. Of course, it's gonna taste horrible. Overcooked. You don't even get that nice little crunch. Like I love that crunch of vegetables.
My favorite grilled asparagus, which I couldn't eat them that way now, is grilled olive oil, grilled cream cheese, and prosciutto ham.
Yeah,
and that makes a meal. But I can't have any of that. I can have the grilled Brussels sprouts.
That's how you get people to eat Brussels sprouts. They tell them, oh, just hit them with a bunch of butter, a bunch of bacon.
Yep.
And all of a sudden it tastes amazing. But
they're delicious.
I actually don't have a problem with bacon because bacon's actually a good fat.
Yeah.
Well,
Again, I'm going back to let's be honest. My grandma lived up to 99 years old. She used to eat bacon. She used to eat a lot of lard. A lot of manteca in all her foods, and she lived up to 99 years old. So I'm basing it off kind of the old science.
And it's a good basis because basically you go back in time. All right. My parents and I only knew my 2 grandmothers, but none of them were on statins. Okay. None of them heard the word cholesterol. Okay. That was a money-making thing from what's his name? Ansel Keys was the guy who come up with this nonsense. And every doctor that knows better calls this guy a fool, but this guy made a ton of money off of it. You know what I mean? And that's the story of it. If you do your research on it, all right, they really don't help. Actually, what they do is they do more damage. A guy like me was on statins probably for 30 years because that's what they told me. And then next thing you know, bladder cancer. And from the treatment from bladder cancer, I developed type 2 diabetes because it was all side effects. All side effects. You know what I mean? Eat normal. Eat right. Okay? Eat what comes up out of the ground, not from a can, not from a box.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think that's Tom, maybe you could, explain it better, but I really do think that what's killing us, what's really killing everybody is the processed stuff. Like everything is out of a box, everything is out of a can. Like you look at the back of the ingredients of anything you buy, it's all just words you can't pronounce. Those are all things that we probably should not be putting in our bodies, but we take it as, oh well, being sold, it can't be poison, but we're literally ingesting poison. And it's one of those things where the oil, even the oil, something as simple as the oil, if you were to go back, any of those like highly processed oils are bad for you. Stick with your olive oil, stick with your avocado oil. Don't go with the bad stuff,
The seed oils.
There's like
seed oils are the worst.
Yeah, like don't avoid those, you know. But of course it's cheap, right? You want to take the Doritos, you know, made in those seed oils because it's cheap. It's $6 a bag. You don't want to go for the healthy option of avocado oil fried chips from Trader Joe's because it's $10 a bag.
Yeah.
But those are the things that you have to start being aware of.
Yeah, make your own chips.
Yeah.
If you don't have type 2,
Mhm.
2 diabetes, make your own chips. Get the flour, get some masa, whatever. Okay.
Kale chips.
Mhm.
You ever
And,
had kale chips?
yeah, and
Kale
and,
chips
and
are
do
good.
it that way. But the seed oils, like you said, everything was done from convenience, as John said, and it's right. It's 100% right because you know what they used to tell you. I remember they used to tell you shop the outside of the store because that's where all the healthier stuff is. Well, they caught on to that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they got all the freezers on the outside with somebody's pizza or Peter Pan pizza or whatever the hell. Get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? As soon as you eat that stuff, you wind up with heartburn and everything. But change your diet. Most people would. So I can't do that keto. I can't do this. I can't do that. Yeah, you can. You get told. They told me flat out, go home and get your affairs in order. Okay, that's what they told me, and that was the difference.
All right, I like what Chef Stevie's saying here. So if it's a blend olive oil, don't even touch it. It's like filtered water, right? You don't know what they filtered to give you the bottle of water.
Yeah.
Could be filled with canola oil and highly processed stuff.
I'm going to
Yeah,
keep forgetting. I keep trying to keep Eddie in the highlights. I won't forget. You were part of our conversation last night, Eddie, that Tom brought up a topic, and I said, it triggered a memory that I remember Jamie saying this before because Eddie is diabetic, and he shared that publicly, so I'm not sharing anything that he hasn't already said. But Jamie will freeze a starch product, and you talked about this last night, Tom. She will take like a potato or whatever, that starchy item. She'll freeze it and then thaw it before she cooks it and serves it to Eddie because the freezing it supposedly gets rid of the starches in it.
It gets rid of the starches that will spike your blood sugar. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it does. I mean, as soon as you eat a potato, let's put it this way: a medium-sized potato has roughly 60 grams of carbohydrates in it. You go down to smaller different potatoes like that. So if you take that potato, cook it, bake it, whatever you want to do, however you do it, and then put it in the freezer, 24 hours, and redo it again, it's likely not to spike your blood sugar like it would normally. Okay, so that's and there's a lot of people that'll take that to the bank.
Yeah.
I also will say, disclaimer, Lance. I'm talking about healthy stuff and everything. I am drinking a beer, which is really like, what is this, like 2 loaves of bread?
Yeah. Well, and
So do not take my advice.
No, but that's what I was touching base on earlier. If it's all this or nothing, there's no way. It's going to be too boring. I got to be able to break the rule a little bit because it would just be something that I can tell you right now that I wouldn't be able to deal with it. What we need to do is to get these dill holes in the shoes and stop doing unhealthy.
I gotta check her out. I gotta.
Oh, you know Chef C? Yeah, she's good.
I gotta sub to her. Sounds good. Yeah, I mean it's not rocket science, okay? Going back in time, I turn around and think back in the restaurant days, okay? I was the culprit because you were taught, okay? Protein on a plate, okay? A vegetable, and then all of a sudden now you need a carbohydrate. Okay, Don't forget to put the breads out on the table and push them desserts because that's the moneymaker. Okay. Hi, I'm Tom. I'm guilty. I probably put more people in the ER. You know what I mean? I mean that's what we were taught. How you were taught. So everybody just gets in that same wheelhouse, and then just keep preaching about it. So when the doctor said to me, "I think it's time for you to go back for another," this wasn't too long ago, maybe 6 months ago. I think it's time for you to go back and get another stress test. I, you need some butter with that, MBL.
Oh my God, that was a good one.
Yeah,
I
but
told Bill-
even alcohol, there's safer options. You know, like I just posted a comment there. I usually drink whiskey because whiskey is one of those, like it's not fattening, it's not everything, and
high in sugar.
yeah. If you drink a whole bottle of it, it's not gonna be good for you. But you know, if you do need that, you do need that alcohol. You know, as barbecue guys, that's all we do, right? We're
Smoke a
out on the
joint.
grill, we're
A
drinking,
joint, much
you know.
easier.
You know, but
So,
yeah, whiskey is
bourbon-
one of those tequila, bourbon. The
Bourbon.
things you want to avoid is what wine,
Hold up.
and there's
and
another
the sugar. But
Yeah.
bourbon will lower your blood sugar.
Yeah,
I drink Chianti. I haven't drank in a while, but I would drink Chianti, or I drink Scotch.
Yeah.
That was, Scotch on the rocks, and that. But you know what? By the time I got done drinking Scotch or the wine, I didn't give a damn about my blood sugar anyway. So you know what I
Right.
mean? That was the.
yeah. Like I said, like we all as barbecue guys, we enjoy our drink. You know, if I'm smoking a 12-hour brisket out there, I need some sort of alcohol in there. You know. and you Lance and Simon know firsthand of me drinking during a brisket cook.
I
I
think you're.
I came up drunk on one of these lives.
I think you're a fun cook when you're drunk, Sal. You should get drunk and do a video. I'm telling you, it tried to go viral. It was Tom. You should have seen it. It was just. He kept wanting to go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stop now. And
I think
We
I
kept-
seen part of that.
It was funny was I was trying to show you the photo and I'm like this and
No,
you see it
no.
right, like it's right here.
don't turn it off. Keep going, Sal.
Years ago, we used to do my brother's backyard. He had a really massive backyard and went down to a lake. And every year we would do a whole hog. All right. And everybody would chip in, big with the concrete block, the cinder blocks all around, start the fire. We had it underneath 2 maple trees. Okay. So this is like August, September. And we got this big pig on there. And the neighbor next door was a machinist, and he made a rotisserie for the thing. Well, we got to drinking. And I guess it was about maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. The pig was going good and looking really nice. Next thing you know, everybody, I think, passed out because we were drinking pretty heavy. Next thing you know, we hear, woo, sirens. We said the pig was burning and the 2 maple trees, all the leaves were on fire.
Yeah. That's where you went wrong or right, Tom.
Yeah.
You always have to have that one person just be that responsible.
After they put the fire out and everything else like that,
You got to have that one person to call, the fire department if necessary, or
I walked up to the
just have
pig
to
and
have that one guy.
took my knife out and cut off a piece of the meat, and I said, "Anybody want it? It's pretty good. Burn.
Yeah.
Get that maple flavor." Yeah. It's amazing. I don't know, but yeah, Lance, I would just go grab the bull by the horn, go get it taken care of. Okay, what it is? It's wake up call. Your body's telling you there's something wrong. Something's going on, and you need to get it checked. Plain and simple.
Oh no way! My sister just texted me. Her neighbor next door to the when I go to Pennsylvania with their house,
Yeah.
John passed away. 61. No kidding. Sorry.
And then I was gonna say also, like, just our medical system, you have to be your own advocate out there because you have to inform yourself. You almost have to have a medical degree to have these conversations with doctors and nurses about the type of tests you need and second guess themselves about what they want you to do. And it's all about research, Lance. You have to go in there and start researching stuff, because if you go in there unprepared, not knowing the medical field, you're at a disadvantage. because
Yeah.
they could at that point they could recommend anything, and you don't know, is this the right thing for me? Should I, should I ask for this other thing? It's like it's one of those things, and I talking from experience because my family, like I said, I've lots of losses, um, and it all came down to the inexperience of asking the right questions, and it really really sucks that we have to be almost medical experts to just have a normal conversation with our doctors, but
You,
that's what we need to do. And if it's not you, hopefully there's a nurse or somebody in the medical field in your family that could ask the right questions with you and kind of guide you. But for the most part, it really has to be us.
you can't get any kind of straight answer. You can't get any kind of great advice in a 10 to 15-minute office visit with your doctor. It just doesn't happen. Okay. So what I do is I tell them, I hope you got time to sit down because I got a lot of questions. And that's how we start off. Okay. Well, I'm seeing here that maybe you should go get tests. No tests. We're done. Okay. Right now, I'm going to be 72 years old. How much more do you want to put me through? How many more tests do you want to put me through just to fill that little bag you got there and maybe give me some more pills? Let's talk about the real thing that's going on. Okay. I have type 2 diabetes from 2008, and not one thing you told me or the medical field told me has cured it.
Right.
So I'm doing it myself the way I eat and how I cook, and that's it. So
And it's the quality of life, right, Tom? Like that it comes a point where I'm living miserably, but if it means living another 5 years miserably, like maybe I could live another 3 years and just live good, happy, and do the things that I like.
Yeah.
It's a hard decision to do, but sometimes that's what it comes down to.
And you get people to give up too, Sal.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because if you go that route of like I'd rather do another 3 years and just enjoy the things versus the 5 that they're recommending. Sometimes those 3 years end up being 10 because the medical field doesn't know everything, and sometimes you just might be doing the right things.
18 years ago, they told me to get my affairs in order,
Mm-hmm.
and here I am, 18 years later. Okay, but I didn't do it on their terms. Okay, with their guidance and stuff. I had many arguments with the doctor, and I'm not telling anybody to do that. Okay,
No.
but put the box down, put all that processed crap to the side. All right, get yourself a big hunk of meat. Learn how to butcher. Okay, learn how to vacuum seal it. Put it in the freezer for future cooks, and don't sit down and say, "What's the recipe for this?" Make your own damn recipe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
God, it's like in the whole barbecue community, we have these amazing grills, right? And we could just do anything. We have these amazing smokers. We could just make some you could literally put a piece of meat with just salt by itself, add a little smoke, and all of a sudden it becomes the best meal of the week.
Yeah. We're sitting there talking about that. I ran to the guy at the greenhouse, and him and his wife were there. And he looked so much like CJ, Mom and Papa Joe. I had to tell him. So I said, "You don't know who I'm about to tell you." I'm telling you, but you could pass for this guy. I know he's on YouTube. He cooks food, great cook. His name is CJ. Mama and Papa Joe is his channel. I'm telling you right now, you could pass for his brother. And he was like, "Oh yeah." He says, "Yeah." He says, he's talking about how he gets into all these brisket cooks and how everybody wants to put everything they want on him. He says, "But all you got to do is use a little bit of salt and more pepper on a brisket when you cook it." He says, load it down with all these injections and sauces and stuff. He said, they're just killing that piece of meat. So, but it's weird. We just had this conversation earlier today. It's like going too crazy with some of the stuff when you can just simply do salt and pepper or just pepper.
Hey, Simon, I didn't get to it yet, but how did your flat top cooking come out?
Oh, good. I liked it. Yep.
Post your picture again, Simon. You bring up the picture again?
Yeah, hold on.
This is what Simon turned in.
Oh, where'd it go?
I had Monument Grill send me out a flat top a couple years ago,
Yeah.
and that's what I did. I did chick. You know, what is it again? I made spaghetti squash. Here it is. Yeah, right there. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, nice turning, wasn't it? Looks
The
good.
sauce was from scratch. The only thing that came out of the box was the noodles.
Looks good. Looks good. Looks good.
That's good.
See, and
The pasta's not Tom approved though.
That's why there's only a little bit on there.
but I have a keto recipe to make pasta like that.
Good pasta.
Yeah, it's actually cheese and pork rinds, basically.
Nice.
How I make it. Yeah, I mean, it's like I tell everybody, play with your food. That looks really good, Simon. Really nice. I have to watch it. I have to go back and watch it.
Chris, play with your food, not yourself, okay?
And
That was a good one.
that's basically with even now with the food prices, there's other ways of cooking. Okay, there's other things you can cook. You don't have to brisket. I seen a week or so ago. Not to bring this up or anything like that, but I mean brisket's ridiculous. The price is completely nuts.
Yeah. Oh, was it Grumpus was saying? Was it Choice?
Yeah.
Choice brisket. He bought a couple of them at HEB. Was what do you say? $3.99 a pound?
Yeah, $3.90 something, $4 a pound.
Yeah. So I said, damn man, I wish we could hit anywhere near that. Would be great.
He says he buys briskets because it's cheaper than buying ground beef. So he grinds his own ground beef.
I will say that like once you start eating healthy though, it's you see your grocery list go up high because
Yeah.
most of the unhealthy stuff is cheap, unfortunately, and that's how they. And if you want to go into conspiracies, it's like, why is that the case? Why are poor people so, overweight in this country? And you start looking at that, and you're like, well, the cheap food is going to kill you faster. It's unhealthy. The healthy stuff out there that you buy, it's unfortunately can be expensive.
Yeah.
Vegetables are not cheap. That's why you start going into it. The more research you do, you're like, well, I need to buy vegetables when they're in season. Now, I'm not gonna buy asparagus in winter. That was for you, Chris, talking about asparagus again. You're gonna buy it in spring because it's cheaper in spring.
So Sal, what you can do also with that is, I mean, I go to the store, I'll buy plum tomatoes. That's the only kind of tomatoes I use. Plum tomatoes, cherries, or grape. That's it. I don't use the other ones because they're over processed, they're overdone. So what I'll do is I'll go there and bring them home, okay? And then 2 days later they start to shrivel. Because why? Because they're held in a warehouse somewhere, and by the time they get the order to come to the store itself, so you're talking almost 6 weeks that these tomatoes have been in circulation. And when you get them home, pay top dollar for them, they're garbage. Okay, so I'll buy. The only thing I buy from a can is crushed tomatoes. Okay, and I use them quite a bit. I'll make a pepper sauce out of peppers, out of dried guajillos and other ones. I'll make a pepper sauce with that. I also buy mini bell peppers now. I'll roast them off, make a sauce with that. But some of the prices of, say, $4.99 for one head of broccoli, okay, I'll go to the freezer section and get broccoli spears, okay, for $2.99. Take out what I want, put them back in the freezer. Nothing wrong with them, and it's frozen up that way. So that's where people are starting to make the turn to getting away from it.
But they don't put a preservative on that asparagus before they freeze it?
No, usually not.
So it's just blanched
and
then frozen.
And you can do this yourself too.
Flashed and frozen, probably.
Yeah, that's what I like doing that with, like the carrots and the celery. I like blanching it because if whatever recipe calls for it, it doesn't really call for a whole thing of celery. So what I end up doing if I know I'm not going to use it, I just I flash I just boil it and then just vacuum seal it, throw it in the freezer along with some carrots. because usually celery and carrots kind of go together. And whenever a recipe calls for it, I just take it off the freezer and just do it.
Sal, you know what you got to do? And make a
There
nice
you go, Sal.
make a nice grilled chicken, okay? And then take maybe 3 or 4 of carrots, okay? And you can even put celery with it, okay? Grill them up and then run them through a blender, okay? Get them nice and creamy. Leave the burnt, the charred parts in it like that, and add just a little bit of heavy whipping cream into it, just a little bit into that right there. A little bit of Marsala wine. You got yourself a nice sauce for that chicken. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
So this is what we were talking about earlier. CV and John had no idea. This was one of Sal's best videos. Behind the scene was the best part. His first sous vide brisket.
Yeah.
And he was abusing alcohol that night. Oh, abusing. I got to tell you my story about abusing. I remember that was your first sous vide brisket, Sal, and you've been tipping the thing. You had never used it. And you were like, "How do you do this? How do you do that?" I
Yeah.
think Randy came in the chat.
Randy came in there. Yeah, Randy came in there because he had done it. So I was like,
Yeah.
I was first time doing it. I even took. I forget whose advice. Somebody in the chat that were like, just don't even wrap it. Just go and wrap the whole time. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. It's gonna be 13 hours, but let's do this, And
Pascagoula asparagus.
and it was good. It
Yeah,
was good.
Yeah.
but we're
The whole
talking
plastic
about
thing. The whole plastic thing, I don't understand. Maybe the bad bags. You just got to buy better brand of those bags because I've never had everything I sous vide never tasted like plastic. I got my own set of complaints with sous vide, but the taste of plastic was never.
I never liked it. We used to do it in the restaurant early on with some tougher cuts of meats for lunch, for like a lunch item, stuff like that. It was a waste of time. It really was a waste of time.
I had we were in my wife was sitting there with me. We were in the ER room last night, and the people right in the room, right in front of us or beside us, right before our room, there was one of the doctors was making rounds in there. He was sort of a loud spoken person. You could clearly hear what he had to say. And the guy in the room before us, I heard it before my wife did. I heard the doctor say something about, being hard. I'm like, so as the conversation went on, the guy abused the little blue pill, and he was at the emergency room because he had an erection that he couldn't get rid of. And the doctor just, you could tell, he was like, just don't have sex. The only thing I tell you is don't have sex for the next couple of weeks. He said, let that stuff be alone. And the doctor walked out the room and says, I understand. I used to be young. I used to want to be an all-star at one time too. He just left the room. But I couldn't believe it. Like, you so clearly hear what was going on. I had to laugh my ass off.
Was the joke one guy said he snorted it and changed his name to Pinocchio? But yeah,
Did we freeze on Sal? I think Sal froze.
Yeah,
I think Brooks has.
South Road a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
froze on that laugh.
Oh.
At least he was happy with it. I don't know.
But that was a blast. That was a blast when I heard that, because then the doctor said something about you're just going to have to wait and let the erection go away like that. And my wife, then that's when she went like this.
Yeah. At least he could use it as a hat rack as he was leaving. I mean,
Yeah. That's what she said. Wonder what was he wearing, a trench coat?
yeah.
Yeah, we got doorbell.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Where are we at? 144. Another 15 minutes, Simon. Got it? We're going to go ahead and cut it now.
No, we can do another 15 minutes. I still got to come out here and clean up that black before I put it away.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see everybody else's cooks until after they dug into them. So I
Okay.
didn't really. The other videos, the other two
Oh,
entries, I didn't
yeah.
see them until after they already cut into them. But I'll have
No, if you saw mine, theirs was like a little bit before, I think. So
but theirs is on your channel because you also streamed the whole
yeah,
thing.
we all streamed it. Yeah, so, we all streamed off Civi's live.
Yeah,
so I moved the computer out to the kitchen, Lance, like I was talking to you about last night,
yeah.
and set everything up. Tried to take a couple different cameras and stuff. So I'm going to give a live cook a shot.
I think you should, man. I so love that idea. John, Salt, Pepper, and Fire, 805 Barbecue, and myself, we talked about it so many times. That's been 4 years ago.
Yeah.
George and I had talked about it, and nothing ever really happened about it. We even talked about, or even Sal and I did this, but we talked about trying to fake the idea that we were in the same room, and that, because I look up to Sal. I think Sal is a great cook.
Mhm.
And I wanted to do a video with me, like even if it's something as simple as cooking wings, and I wanted to appear like Sal was in my background, like over my shoulder, like shaking his head, no, whatever, critiquing the way I was cooking it,
Yeah.
Even and I just sort of kind of was like, I go on my ups and downs because you start losing, 15 subscribers, you can't understand why. And you think
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care about that. I could care less about that right there. All I know is one thing. Uh, I want to show people. Here's how I'm doing this. Okay, I don't preach about it, but you know what I'm going to make for the people who don't have type 2 diabetes or anything like that on this channel. All right, I'm going to turn around and say I'm making Marie pasta from scratch. Don't take long, and I'll make that. Try it, see what it looks like on live, and go from there with it. You know what I mean?
right.
If it works. If it don't, it don't. So, I don't know.
But we sort of kind of squashed the idea a little bit, and it was just because, to do something like that, I'm totally leaning on the other person, and not because I'm just being lazy, because I don't know a stinking thing about computers. I mean, like when we were getting ready to go live, I tightened the plug up on my laptop and I lost my camera. I was like, oh shit, what did I just do? That kind of stuff. I just don't. Camera or computers sort of kind of scare me a little bit still, just always afraid to push that wrong. I believe that there's a button on this computer. If you push it at the wrong time, it's going to go boom,
Yeah. I got, and you know what? We're getting to the point now. We're getting along in the tooth. All right, and all these different, all these different apps and stuff like that. What the hell do I want that for?
Yeah.
Come to find out, you need it.
Yeah. But going back to your cook idea, Tom, I think it's a great idea. Simon, he started streaming, did experimental stream Friday with that river something other.
Yeah, Riverside. Yeah.
And it edits his live for him. It actually cuts out sections of his live should he want to post it as a short video or something later. It does all that automatically for him.
Yeah.
For this Riverside thing.
If we were to go on there right now, okay, it would record everybody locally. Okay. See how Sal froze before?
Right.
It wouldn't freeze on that end when I went to put that up on the recording. He would just keep on going. There would be no stopping on it. It's unbelievable. It'll give you a set of shorts that you want. It'll what they call magic clips. They'll get you ready for to put up shorts. It'll also give you a closed caption in it. You can add a whole bunch of other stuff. But once I make the recording, all I have to do is I go onto the one side of the platform, and I can hit where it enhances the microphone. It'll cut out and all that stuff like that, and works out great. So now we're going to try it live because last time I did it live, I had latency problems between Riverside and YouTube.
Is that a paid app?
Yeah.
$129 a month or $29 a month? You said.
Yeah, $29 a month. I got it for him. Yeah. So Yeah, it seems to be working. I did an interview for Opus Clip, and that's what I was taking my long forms to and doing my shorts out of there. I did an interview with them, and they're doing what they call I guess that they watch my progress and stuff like that, what I'm doing, because I use all their different apps and stuff like that. I don't like the AI voice. I told them I don't want to use that whatsoever. There's a couple other things that they're putting in there for me, but I got a year free. They give me a year free to use their stuff. So it's working out well. That's why I said, Lance, don't quit, man. Don't give it up.
Yeah.
You know what? I look at it this way. It keeps me busy. Rather than sitting in that rocking chair wondering, I should have done this, I should have done that. Why didn't I take care of myself better? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that?
Hey, right?
Just keep moving. Keep doing it, you know.
That's Gary. Is it anti-29?
Yeah.
Well, you're doing 25. It's a $4 difference, right?
Yeah.
Is it 25 or 29? I heard 29.
Tom is 29. I'm saying Evie Mux is 25, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Matt, yeah.
I had problems with EV Mux. Just the some of the lagging and stuff like that. And I had my internet checked the whole bit to see if that was a problem, but it was on their end of it. Because what they were doing at that time is, if you do a recording, they didn't have a pause button where you could pause it. You know, you're coughing or choking or whatever, or the guest you had on, you know, said something off color. You would have to go back and edit that out, and I don't have time for that. All that editing. So
it does all that for you. This River or whatever it does.
Yeah.
River.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It works until it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
and something else comes along.
No, it's good. I mean, it's my motto with my business that I dissolved was old-fashioned quality of modern technology. So it's like, don't stop learning. Old school way may still be great, but there's something new that you can implement.
Yeah.
In your case, this River stream platform.
Yeah, because they do the podcast with it really intensely, but now I'm getting more into with that thing now. I'm going to try with the lives on the Fridays and stuff like that.
Whatever you guys could do to keep posting, that's the YouTube long game is. You have to keep posting. So whatever, if you're not making money off of this, the thing that you could base it off is things that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
If this is just a hobby and you love showing a particular cook to everybody, then that's you got to do more of those cooks, because that's ultimately what's going to keep you sharing.
You got to be open. You got to be open to change. Okay, and that was a hard thing for me to deal with. Funny. What do you call it? Every time something changes, you get used to doing something on a computer. You get used to doing something in your editing and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, they throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into it, which isn't a big deal. But to you, because your knowledge is not there as far as, the technology, but you got to work with it. And then you find out, wow, that worked out really good. So that was a hurdle for me to, with big changes and stuff like that. So I'm enjoying it. I really am. Or else I'll be going on 5 years. 5 years, 6 years. I think 6 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
They'll be going on with it. So.
Yeah, and I am very, very excited for my channel because I'm about to hit a major milestone, which I did not think I was ever going to reach. I'm about 27 subscribers away from 10,000, and
All right.
for a lot of people, 10,000, it's either a lot, for somebody just starting out. 10,000 seems ridiculous, and people who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, 10,000 might seem not a big deal. But for me, that was like the very first, if I could hit that milestone, it would be huge. for me. So very excited about that. And,
That's great. So
and when it happens, if it happens this week, um, great. If it happens the following week, great. Whenever it pops up, I'll, there's a ton of ideas that I wanted to do, like
Mhm.
giveaway and all this other stuff. But I feel like let me just kind of enjoy it. And because it's just kind of mind blowing. I really didn't think I would hit it. But it's coming along, and yeah, maybe I should just save it for a video and just
So you know what
kind
I
of a
did?
one-on-one conversation with my subscribers as far as what it means and what I'm thinking, future and all that stuff. So
What I
stay
did with
tuned for
mine was
that.
I didn't do anything. When I hit it, I
Yeah.
didn't do anything. I just made another video,
Yeah.
and then made
Yeah.
another video, and then made another
Yeah.
video.
But
And then,
yeah, I understand. Like for like when I hit 1,000, it seemed like just whatever, just keep going.
yeah, exactly.
But I really said it earlier on, like when I hit the 100 subscribers, I said I want to hit the 10,000 because it really meant
That's
it
the
really
mindset.
meant a lot. Like I wasn't even going for 100,000, which is I think that's what everybody's goal is for that
No, I want.
silver plaque. But for me, it was just at 10,000. Like I
Yeah.
feel it's gonna change things for sure. And I talked to Lance about it before.
For me, also, I just happy to hit the 1,000 mark, man.
Yeah, and and I went through that, like just hitting the 1,000 and then hitting the 4,000 watch hours and all that stuff, and YouTube. As much as we like to complain and everything, I feel it's been fair to me, where I haven't bought any subscribers, I haven't bought any views. It's all been very natural, and if it takes me 6 years to hit 10,000 subscribers, then that's what it is,
Yeah.
because it's a hobby for me, and I've not taken it seriously as I should have since the beginning. So it's all very natural growth, since the beginning, and I'm just having a blast. I enjoy um, taking photos of my food. I love filming it. I love editing. I love every single step. And it hasn't become a burden where like, I need to make another video.
Yeah, that's when
Or
that's the
damn
line to
it,
get out.
like my food didn't come out the way I wanted to, so I've got to refilm this. It's like it's never been about that.
Yeah.
It's just I haven't researched hours and hours just to create that perfect title. I'll name it what I think it should be, and that's it. So it's a huge deal,
Wait till you get to the point when you're taking pictures of it and you're talking about your food and you start naming it.
So I think you have a hater in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Congrats, Zach.
Damn it, Demoose.
That's good. You'll get
I
there. I
Sit on
mean,
that.
it'll happen, man. And I mean, you got good stuff. You really do have really good stuff. You know what I was amazed at? I guess a while back you did, not too long ago, with the flank steak. I have not seen anybody do a flank steak in a long. I haven't seen anybody do a flank steak. Period. Let's put it that way. Until you did. That was like my go-to. Back in the restaurant days. Okay, it's great, great piece of meat, great flavor, and if it's cooked right, fantastic. So that was like when I said, "Whoa, look at that."
Appreciate the comments. I'm just trying to catch up on it. I didn't want the spotlight on me. I just felt like I just
Sure.
looked. We were talking about YouTube, and I'm looking at the stats, and I'm like, oh shoot! Like I wasn't expecting it to happen this year, to be honest with you. Like I was just because I had these big plans about new format, new everything before I hit those 10,000, and I just feel like now I feel the pressure, like, oh shit, now I have to kind of deliver on those promises that I made a while back. that I was going to do.
I wouldn't look into getting. Everybody makes a mistake looking into getting different equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, different cameras and stuff like that. Stick with what you have, and but the whole idea is the quality. You got to,
Yeah.
you got to be able to put that stuff out there and make it intriguing for somebody.
Yeah. Sal's got a new method, and it's another one of those things that I replied to it. I noticed it right away. It hit me that hard. And I mean, if he wants to share it, he can share it. But I think he's got a new technique, and he walked away from it a little bit from his last video. But I noticed it when I first saw it. So I responded to the video, and I pinpointed it. We didn't have a conversation beforehand. I saw what he was doing. I said, "Man, I love this approach."
Mhm.
It's like I felt like we locked eyes, when he was having this conversation, and I think you all stick to it, dude. I think that's the ticket right there.
There was Lance. There was no need to get all homoerotic on me, but locking eyes with you.
Yeah. Should I play some evening music? Or?
Rolled in his mouth.
Yeah.
No, but I told you, Lance, like you were the first one to kind of commented on that, because it was something new that I was trying and I enjoyed doing. And then it's sure enough, when I didn't do it, you responded to it. And I also had somebody else said like, "Hey, why something different about this video?" Because the thing with that one that I released, the last one that I released, it was an older video that I had shot, so it didn't implement the new look to it. So Lance was right away. He spotted it. It was like, hey, it didn't feel the same, But that's kind of the plan. Is finally having. That's kind of my goal. If I do reach those 100,000 subscribers, I just want something where people know what they're gonna get. Because I've been changing my style so many times, changing the type of cooks that I do so many times. At 100,000, I wanted to make it where people know what they're gonna get, because I feel that that's the only thing that's lacking with my channel. People don't. It's very random, but I know in order to be in this YouTube game, you have to be more predictable sometimes. Still do what you want to do, but you have to be a little bit more predictable with the audience.
Yep, in the first 30 seconds anyway. That's what they tell me.
Yeah. So that's kind of the plan. Is to kind of
you're going to
change it up.
You're going to be a little bit more consistent with it, Sal. I mean,
yeah, me posting every other week, it's not good. Ideally, I think I have my editing down where I can, in theory, make 2 videos a week, but I don't want to also kind of take over my life, because it would feel like I'm constantly filming, constantly editing. I don't want it to feel that way. So if I could consistently post every week, and then during the summer months, if I could post twice or even 3 times a week, I know for the subscribers, they hate that. They don't want to see me 3 times. I know the stats. People do not want to see me 3 times a week. It's just too much for them to catch, because they've got other YouTubers to watch. It's too much coming from one content creator. But I feel like that's what the algorithm is kind of pushing. They because 90% of my views come from non-subscribers, and wow. I feel like if I go with that, and if I'm constantly producing content for them, then it would be more growth. But we'll see. It's all experimental,
I was told by because I complained quite a bit with emails to them and this and that, and finally they will put me into one of them like a workshop type of thing. To me, it was a waste of time. It just too much bull crap. But what I got out of it, and it finally got back to me, was changing my times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when to post and change them. So like I was always posting 12 a.m. on Sunday. because they told me back in the past, they told me that's when you would get the overseas people. So you were getting a conglomerate of different people, which was all bullcrap. All right.
Yeah.
So 90% of our viewers are from the states.
Hmm.
So they told me especially on the certain days like Sunday, the Sunday Dinner Chef, I used to post at 12 a.m. in the morning, and wouldn't get no views until 8 o'clock in the morning my time.
Hmm.
So now, happy birthday, Simon. And then once I changed my times, it started to pick up again. You know what I'm saying? With
Yeah, it's all experimental. Like that's what I think. Like I think even the big channels. I don't mean to misquote them or whatever, but I think if you look at the big barbecue channels, they're still trying to figure it out. Like it's weird to think that somebody with 1 million subscribers are still trying to figure it out, but I think that's what makes it kind of fun because it kind of shakes things up, like what works, what doesn't work, and what works today might not work tomorrow. So, and that's part of the game. So if that stresses you out, then YouTube's probably not for you.
Are they still
Um,
trying to figure it out, or are they trying to be different or changing it up to keep it looking fresh?
I think if you look at just how much the algorithm changes, they need to change things up, and I think they either adapt or they don't. But some people just have it, so they could feel it, what people want, and they automatically kind of change things up subconsciously, and they're still successful. But
I was talking to
the
CJ. I was talking to CJ, and we were talking back and forth about it. He said, he says barbecue slipping with the prices and everything like that. I said, cook inside. You don't have to be out
Yeah.
on a grill all the time. Cook,
Yeah.
do what you do outside, do it inside. I mean, it's a big, and that's what he's been doing lately.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like I said, we all fall under the cooking umbrella, where we could barbecue, people could cook inside. And believe it or not, a lot of kitchen cooks, you're going to see this. Like, look at the top, cooking channels that cook in the kitchen. Once June hits, you're going to see a lot of them go out there and cook on their gas grills because that's what the algorithm wants. People are searching how to grill a steak outdoors, how to grill burgers outdoors, and even people that cook inside, they're outside. So it doesn't mean that us barbecue channels have to stay outdoors all the time. Once in a while, if the month or the recipe approves it, we got to go inside the kitchen.
And the other thing, Sal, is now the price of things. Okay, well, we all know food prices are high, but now what's climbing now is propane. For me to buy a 20-pound bottle of propane out here, not to buy it or get it refilled, okay, is almost $70. Okay, that's putting a crimp in it. Now I understand that getting charcoal, okay, because of the diesel prices delivered to the stores, you're going to see a bump up in that. So there's always that challenge. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to do a ribeye, all right, let's do a ribeye. Everybody did a ribeye. Can't touch a ribeye now. Can't afford it now. So now you start stepping back and stepping back. It's tough.
Yeah, and you said it, Tom. Like, there's always challenges, right? Because the big barbecue channels blow up in 2020, where everybody that was doing barbecue in 2020's channel, they just blew up, was because no one was going out to eat. No one was going out to eat because all the restaurants got closed down and all this, COVID thing happened. And that's why, all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't go out to eat dinner. So now I know I got to learn how to cook it at home. Exactly. And that's where all the the barbecue, if I'm going to cook at home, it's going to be barbecue. So the people were buying grills. People were looking up recipes. They want to learn how to cook ribs and brisket and all this other stuff. And if you were lucky enough to start a food channel or barbecue channel in 2020, your channel probably blew up.
Yeah. I like today, I made on the Sunday Dinner Chef, I made homemade Salisbury steak. Okay. I mean, I had bought what do you call the shoulder cut. Okay, full shoulder cut. I got it at half price. I had to do something with it quick. Cut it up, froze it. But luckily, I had some trimmings from brisket and some brisket fat been
Mhm.
trimming. So I ground all that up together, and I made a big Salisbury steak, shiitake mushrooms, and
That's my favorite steak, by the way. Salisbury
yeah,
steak.
and finished it with Marcella one with a nice gravy at home. So you got to do. I mean, you got to pull the stops
Yeah.
out with everything. You get creative with it, but don't quit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I love the home meals. Like it's I still stand by this. Like if I could make the best burger, make the best steak, make the best anything at home, and if it's like a cheap food, like some good old pasta and meatballs, then I really think I could do it better at home. Like there's something satisfying about just doing it yourself.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I love leftovers. It's weird. A lot of people hate leftovers. I'm like, no, you could do so many things.
I'm
You could
not
do
a
so
big
many
fan of
things
it.
with it.
I'm not a fan of it because there's only two of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I tell a story. My mom would make a big roast on Sunday, and we'd have that summer bitch until Wednesday. You know, all
Yeah.
different ways. You know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Simon he's got a bunch of mess to clean up yet from
Oh,
that
okay.
Blackstone cook-off collaboration he had today. So
Can we just watch, like, is all of the cooks available on his channel, or
I
do
know
we need to hunt them down? Hunt them down.
CV streamed the whole thing. Simon streamed the whole thing. I'm
Okay.
not sure about Brian if he streamed the whole thing. I'm thinking
Mhm.
they all streamed everything on their own channel, so
Mhm.
they all would get their own recognition for and credit for
Okay.
being cooked.
It's
I
kind of
think
cool.
I've never met this Brian gentleman, but I know he was part of the cook. And the other one, I can't remember his name. I've never met him either, but I know Simon streamed the whole thing, and I know CB streamed the whole thing.
That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah, okay. Simon said they did. Everybody streamed everything.
Were they all barbecuers, or just kind of a mix?
Again, I don't. I think they're, and Eddie might even know better than I do. I'm sure having fun in nature. Yeah, I think that they're all like from the prepping channels.
Mhm.
I think. I'm not saying they don't cook or barbecue, but I think that they are that community of preppers. I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well, you need fire.
having fun in nature and whistles.
Homesteading
What is
channel. Yeah, Simon just put it, the homesteading channels.
Okay,
that community.
homesteading. Mhm.
all you need is
Nice.
fire.
Yeah.
Well,
Very cool.
keep me posted, Lance, will you?
Will do, buddy.
Yeah, Lance, for sure. Just keep us posted, and I hope the best for you. Because the barbecue
Yeah,
community needs you. We
Yeah.
need you here, Lance, every Sunday.
Well, I appreciate it. I want to be around. I have no intentions of checking out early. And I want to be here for my grandchildren and be part of their life. And I want to make sure that they're not taught. And I don't really want to get into this too deep, but I want to make sure that they know that you got to work for what you earn. And don't go through life with the attitude of, wait until they give you, or, what are you going to give me next? You got to earn it. Don't expect it to be given to you. You're going to respect it more after you've earned it than if someone was to give it to you. That's just my opinion, but I will definitely be doing what I can to make sure that my grandchildren know that's, how I was raised up. That's the way of life. That's what got me here. I had nothing.
That should be the big driver for you right now. Okay, I got
Yeah.
my drums back because they're moving back east.
Yeah.
Okay, so be careful what you give them.
Yeah.
Get it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
and that's for everybody too. Like we have to realize that we're not here forever, and we have to just give thanks every
Yeah.
day. You know, if it's a nice day, you gotta really focus in on that. Like, wow, today was a beautiful day. Everything went right. You know, I had a delicious breakfast, a delicious dinner. We have to be actively appreciating the things as they come, because tomorrow we just don't know. You know, and it could be as unfortunate as losing somebody we really care about, or it could be us being gone. We
Yeah.
just don't know. But the time to kind of if something needs improvement, today's the time to kind of start getting things going. You know, if we have affairs that are not settled in, we gotta kind of figure it out. You know, you gotta.
The other day I was in the bank and I was leaving. Okay, walking out and I seen this younger guy walking in, and I opened the door and I held it for him.
Mhm.
Okay, and he went, "Oh, thank you, sir." I said, "Remember it when you're my age." And I walked.
Wow, I would have remembered that, Tom.
There you go. I mean, it's just simple.
Yeah, I would have remembered that. I would have kept that. I was like, damn, like that.
Simple. All the
Probably
simple
would've-
stuff. Nothing's complicated. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
you know, when you go and look, especially Lance, what you're going through. I've been there. Okay,
Right.
I know exactly what you're doing as far as, God dang it, you know, and why and how come, and look at the kids, get emotional with it. Did the same thing. Nothing embarrassing about that. Okay, nothing. That shows you that you got a caring heart. Number one. Now the next thing is you got to go get that heart taken care of. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
do if anything, do it for them kids. Well, Pop was a nice guy. No, you want to make sure that you're going to show them when they're older what kind of guy you were to start with. So
Yeah.
don't play with
Yeah.
it.
No, I'm not. We're going to say get on the phone tomorrow and get the ball rolling. We did all we could do over the weekend, and then see what the cardiac doctor says. But
Mhm.
whether it's open chest or just stent, of course, I'm obviously rooting for the stent. But
And
I'm,
whatever it is, Lance, I think you've done good. You don't let anybody make you feel guilty. You're taking care of it now.
right,
Should you have taken care of it a week ago, or 3 months from now, or a year ago, then that it is what it is. We're in the now. You know, as long as you're taking care of it now.
I had a
That's what's
cousin
important.
drop dead at 50 years old because he was doing preventative maintenance on his heart. Okay, he was taking all this stuff ahead of time, going through the whole 9 yards, and had a massive heart attack at 50. Okay, so what does that tell you? Sometimes that crap don't work either. You got to go with your gut. You know what your gut feeling.
Yeah.
You know when you sit down with that double chocolate ice cream with bananas and a shot of brandy on the side, you know that's not good for you. So
no,
That
it's
sounds
not.
delicious. That sounds delicious, Tom.
I know.
But you know
Don't,
what?
don't tempt
You
me
know
with a
what?
good time, Tom.
You know,
Get a flank steak out. I'll be over in a little while.
you know what's good out of that though. I mean, yes, you should. You can't have that stuff. You can't abuse it at that point. But if you do have it once a year, twice a year, whatever, it is a major treat. I used to eat seafood. This is no lie. I had seafood every weekend. And I live near the water. I can have fresh seafood, crabs, fish, any day of the week that I want. There's seafood joints all around us. There's a lot of water around us. But I had to stop eating it because I was eating so much. I ended up getting gout all the time. So I stopped eating it. And now that if I have it, steamed crabs, like 3 times a year, man, it's a treat.
Yeah.
It's a major treat. And whenever it's like, so when you're eating them every week, your comments are, wow, these crabs are bigger than last week. But when you have them 3 times a year,
Yeah.
man, things taste great. There's no complaints.
That's what I like to tell people during the holidays. A person that was much healthier than I am told me it doesn't matter what you're having today. It matters what you're having the rest of the year. And if you take that into the holidays, it's like you can have that prime rib dinner, or you could have all those sides at Thanksgiving dinner, if it mean, as long as the rest of the year you're under control,
Yeah.
and that's what we all should aspire to, is eating healthy the rest of the year and just having one day where you can just eat whatever you want. That's great.
Go away, Chris.
What do you call? I guess about 2 or 3 months ago, before I had this relapse back into it again with my sugar numbers and stuff like that. I walked in the door one night and I had in the store and I had a quart or a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. And I looked at my wife and I said, "Hi, I'm Tom, and I'm about to devour this son of a bitch."
And Lance, to be honest with you, you should take kind of Tom's approach where he's cooking stuff on his other channel that's he doesn't eat. He just he hands it over. He cooks this and he just hands it over. So that could be a thing where if you ever feel the need to cook something that's just okay, there's no way I could eat this. That could be your your go-to. Just
I'll take a fork.
hand over that plate over.
I take the spaghetti, I'll twirl it up like this, have the camera cut away, and I put it up and go like this, and Marie takes it. Fork. That was good. Because that would put me into a tizzy. I mean, next thing you know, I'm, hey, I never thought I'd be on insulin, okay? And they put me on insulin because all the bull crap that they were talking about, that, oh, you're insulin resistant, that means your insulin's too high. It was the furthest thing from the truth, okay? My insulin was not working. I'm old, okay? So I got to get that fact of the matter going on here, that my pancreas is tired. It's not pumping out enough insulin to begin with, and my liver's tired. Look at the damage I did to my liver over the years, okay? I would drink 7 days a week, 24, just constantly, all right? To the point you get done work, boom, boom, slam it down. I watch some of these guys, and they're cooking a ice cold beer, and I punch the, okay? But I did the damage already, okay? And paid for it. Actually paid for it. So, but every once in a while, I'll have a glass. I get like a couple of sips of wine where I can go 3 days, and I'm on a half a gallon of scotch.
Yeah.
That's the price you pay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking a look at it as a tap challenge. I do want to do some different things with the. I don't know that I can really go cut and dry and be able to do, because of my cooking skills, be able to do a quality, a clean cook as Tom can do. In other words, so, I think what I'll be able to do would be to make a, like semi-clean cooks, healthier cooks,
Mm-hmm.
but
I will say, Lance, though, like some of the stuff, majority of the stuff Tom is cooking, I would not say no to,
Oh yeah,
even
no, that's great.
like the healthier stuff would be like, I would eat this for a whole year,
Yeah.
So you got to take it with that approach where it is healthier, and even if you could cut, make it 50% healthier, you're still winning.
That's it. And the thing is that when people say, well, I would have to put it out, I couldn't do it that way. Can I curse in here? Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, Lance.
Well, there goes Lance's monetization there.
You do it your way. Don't try to be a James Beard award winner or anything like that. That doesn't fly anymore. Okay, this is what Lance does, and this is how he cooks it, and this is what he does. Okay, Is it completely low carb? Well, that's what Lance eats. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's helping you. That's the big difference I see.
Yeah.
And I think you really shouldn't even focus on that. I think, and I mean this, Lance, this is the second time I'm saying this. Like, you are the most creative cook I know on YouTube. So you could come up with something where it's not only healthy, but it looks amazing and it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
And I think you got those skills. And I think you're underestimating yourself, thinking that it's just going to be, let's go back to asparagus. A bland piece of boiled asparagus on a plate. I don't think you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always shoot yourself in the foot by saying, I don't know if I can do this and that. Now, you're very creative with things, and I would just roll with it. Who cares? Okay.
Yeah.
That's when you get that attitude, that's when you start picking up a little bit. Oh, it should have been a different camera angle. Oh, it should have been this. It should have been that. Now, hey, none of us are Cecil B. DeMille. Number one, we love food. We love to cook food. Okay. So no matter how you do it, cook it. Do it.
Yeah.
You know? I used to watch it on like the Cooking Network and stuff. Once I get out of the business, okay, and the thing came out was the Turduncan. Get the frig out of here! I mean, come on, it's the stupidest thing I ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? You know, put all this
Just
crap-
cook all three by themselves, right, Tom?
have a cold beer. It's over with. You know what I mean? So it just didn't make any sense to me. What that kind, but then shit like that takes off. I'm sorry again, but things like that take off. You know, and we have this, try that, try that. Same thing with, you know, with ribeye steaks and stuff like that. Back in the day, ribeye steak was the cheapest cut of meat you could buy. Okay,
Not no more.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, filet mignon.
I remember when the one video that's just taking off on my channel is it's a cow tongue video. And I grew up eating that, and now if you were to go and get a cow tongue, I just picked one up at Costco, $31. It's just like, what?
Yeah.
This used to be $10. You know,
Oxtail.
What is
Oxtails
going on?
Crazy.
We talked
Just
about that.
throw away cuts, right? And it's just like that's what us poor people used to eat, you know. And now it's just like now it's you know, we can only have this, you know, maybe once a quarter because it's so damn expensive.
I told you guys 100 times this, but my grandmother, when she was alive, she did most of the cooking. So whenever I'd see her, there was a pack of spare ribs. Back there, we didn't get them in a Cryovac. It was wrapped in the butcher paper. When I would see her open up that butcher paper and I see ribs, I went, oh, good, spare ribs. She would put them in the pot and boil the living hell out of them, and then hand it over to the torch, my father. Okay, we had a little hibachi. He put them charcoals and little briquettes in the hibachi, soak it down with lighter fluid, light it up, and as the lighter fluid was burning, he put that damn rib on there. Growing up until I was like 15 years old, I thought barbecue sauce was lighter fluid. I mean, because he would soak the living hell out of that. But, you know, Jesus, come on. Things change. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Chef John is saying that they steal the cow tongues from this store from I believe he's the HEB employee. I think he's.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't he run the booze section or something like that?
Yeah,
or order booze?
Wine and stuff. Yeah. John's a great guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen his videos for a while, but yeah, I like John. But he said they're stealing cow tongues.
Yeah. We cook together.
It must be one of them guys that gets away from appearing that they're abusing the blue pill or something. I don't know. I mean, how they getting away with it?
He tells everybody, don't give me no lip. Give me that tongue.
I mean, there's really one tongue per cow, so I would assume that's why it's so damn expensive, right?
Yeah.
Too funny.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut it. I'm already 28 minutes past beyond I thought I was going to be here, but
Thanks,
I do appreciate it. I support. Believe me, I appreciate all the support. I'm not neglecting things. You know, I'll be the first one to admit that I probably should have addressed this, 3 weeks ago, but being bullheaded and just, from the mindset, you keep pushing, you're going to work through it, and my motto is, it only hurt. And it's been my motto for years, it only hurts for a minute, and then you continue, This one got me.
Yeah. Well, it's we all know it's coming. Let's put it that way. Okay. The timing may not be the same as we think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, well, just hanging tough in there, Lance. And listen, I appreciate you having me up. Really do. Sal, take care of yourself.
No, I appreciate you coming up. Appreciate you too, Sal.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you,
Up.
Lance.
Russ is under the weather right now. He would have been up here too, but he said he couldn't do it. He's been fighting a cold. I've been sick all week, he said. But we appreciate y'all.
I'm kind of the guy that pops in whenever someone's sick. You know, Simon's gone. I'll pop in.
No, I always I'll send you links unless you say that you're with your parents or something like that. But
You're the
I
relief
enjoy
pitcher.
people. I enjoy the people.
You're the relief pitcher, Sal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm out.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Chat. We'll see you next Sunday. Simon on Tuesday. Des on Friday. Eddie and Gary on Saturday. That is next week's schedule. And hopefully I'll be around and can catch some in between what I got going on. We'll see. No promises, but that's my plan. So good night. Love you all. Thanks for the morale. And we will see you next time. Peace.